Yo, what up? It's your boy. Just want to give a few thoughts on Black Friday, the protests, and the Mike Brown situation. First thing, man, there's a lot of people saying, asking why boycott Black Friday. What's the point of all these protests, and what's the point of this and that? Why should we do it? Everything's open to criticism, you know. And first of all, if you shop at Black Friday, ain't nobody mad at you, you know. However, I will leave you with this. The climate we in and all the things that happen with young black men being shot by the police and other things, too many times black people often left running around scrambling like somebody cut the light on like a bunch of roaches, asking what should we do and what can we do, we need to do something. And then when somebody provides concrete solutions to what we can do immediately to effect change, then everybody says, well, some people say, well, I don't want to do it, why I do that? You know, you can't have it both ways. You know, the purpose of boycotting Black Friday, for one, and Cyber Monday and these things, is to show that we're standing together. The economic platform hasn't been touched in a while from black people. We know we gross and our spending power is about $1.1 trillion in the American economy. So, if we boycott this unofficial holiday and pull back our dollars, that's millions, maybe even billions of dollars that the economy is not getting there, waking up and they're paying attention. You know, it's not going to work unless everybody do it. You know, those deals are not really deals anyway. I mean, if you can find like a TV for $130, but it was usually $600, I don't want you to miss no deal. But hey, I mean, do you really need it? You know, can you not sacrifice even that $128 for the greater good of everybody? I'm just saying. A lot of people say they want change, but when we provide solutions, nobody wants to do it. But in other communities and other people, they say, well, we're not going to spend our money. They're not going to spend their money. It doesn't matter. So we need to get with the program, man. You know? And some reports came out from different news sites today that said Black Friday sales has dropped 11% this year. You know? But that's only one aspect of trying to effect change. You got to look at it as a lot of y'all don't think. A lot of y'all look at what's going on. You don't think in terms of strategy. You think in terms of here, now, and that's it. Tomorrow's not coming, right? And that's cool. You got to think in the here and now and in the future. This thing ain't gonna change overnight. You know, we look at it like a boxing match. You take boxing matches are usually scheduled for 12 rounds. Very rarely do people get knockouts within the first 3 rounds. Those people are exceptional, or very exceptional boxers, but that's not the norm. It's scheduled for 12 rounds because, you know, that's how much time. Usually, that's how much time it's going to take to beat your opponent. You have to strategize. You have to box. You have to use knowledge, skill, and power to win the overall match, round by round by round. Sometimes you got to look at boycotting as just one round of, in the whole scheme of things, of what we're trying to do. Maybe today is boycotting. Maybe tomorrow it's a rally. Maybe the next day we going to the courts. You know, you get what I'm saying. So we got to get involved and come together and stop saying that every solution that we try is not going to work. Each solution has its own place. Like protesting has its place. We have to go beyond protesting and getting in the streets and marching, but it has its place, and we can't just stop there. You know, and but the protests are going around the country. It's picking up. I mean, a lot of people are doing it. I've seen a lot of Ivy League schools are doing it. You know, a lot of predominantly white schools are doing it. A lot of people of all color are doing it all around the country. People are kind of tired of this injustice, but we got to make sure that we are at the forefront of the thing. We got to make sure that we are pushing it, because all too many times, a lot of people like to attach themselves to our struggle for their own economic gain. You know, They will, some sources will say, hey, it's crazy what happened to Mike Brown. Donate to our cause so we can help. And these people are outside the community. And they start getting money, but that money ain't going to the Mike Brown cause or whatever. So we just gotta make sure we are conscious of that. But I'm glad to see a lot of people doing it, a lot of people stepping up, stepping out. Our our experiences are different in this country as black people. So we have to show that, man. We have to really show that and let them know. You got to strategize, man. Look at how they did the bus boycotts in Birmingham back in the day. Not everybody participated, but a lot of people participated. They said they weren't gonna ride the bus. They didn't ride the bus. I'm pretty sure there were people who said, hey, I gotta go to work, I'm gonna ride this bus. Y'all can do what y'all wanna do. But as time went on, Martin Luther King said nobody rode the bus. Everybody stuck together, and eventually they won what they were trying to do. The protests that are going on today, they're called die-ins, where people go around to different locations, shopping malls, businesses, and they would just lay on the ground, symbolizing the black lives that have been shot. And more importantly, Michael Brown was shot and left for dead. He was already dead, just shot there and left on the ground. So they're using their bodies as symbols to wake people up who will normally just go shop and do what they got to do. Some people gonna be shopping, they're gonna like, hey, what's going on here? They can go home and tell their families, hey, today I was at the mall and I seen people just laying down in the street. What's going on? Conversations begin to take place. So as they pick up, it's coming to the forefront of the nation. And it's picking up. So let people protest, man. Let people do what they got to do. But it just can't be the only thing we do. And these die-ins and sit-ins, they are similar to the freedom rides from back in the day during civil rights era. We had sit-ins back then, had freedom rides. Why did they have these things? Because the nation wasn't paying attention. People just going about their daily lives, business as usual, and voices were not getting heard. So as a result, young people, students, young adults would just go in different businesses and just sit and demand justice. They'll sit, they'll lay, they'll do whatever to bring attention to what's going on. Sometimes you gotta make people uncomfortable. Sometimes you yourself have to be uncomfortable to effect change. So these protests are making people uncomfortable. People trying to get to work. They got to ride through, see protests going on. It's going all over the country. So they like, yo, what's going on? This ain't cool. We need to do something about this. And the government needs to make police brutality a national issue. They don't want to do it. They want to ignore it because when they do that, when they acknowledge it, they have to not acknowledge a whole bunch of other things. But it works, man. But we just got to strategize. We got to keep pushing with it. You got to wake up and realize that black men, with black lives, with black men in particular, it's a propaganda machine going on, man. They'll put us on the TV as murderers, thugs, rapists, whatever. So when the police kill one of us, in the public eye, it'll seem justified because he probably doing something, or we probably doing something we had no business doing anyway. It's terrible, man. Very terrible. But a lot of us got to wake up, man, and realize what's really going on today. It's bad, and we got to start participating. We got to have more conversation, but not only conversation, but conversation in the hopes of doing things, getting to the bottom of it. And our white brothers and sisters that are assisting us or feel what we feel, I would challenge them to go back and tell their white counterparts, their white colleagues about what's happening, because, a lot of times they'll show up with us, march with us, then they go back to their lives, don't say nothing to nobody. But we need them to take the experience they learn from us and take our stories and take back to their people, to the people who don't want to listen, who don't want to be out here. That's what we need. That's where the uncomfortableness comes in from them. This ain't no comfortable situation, man. It's gonna be an uncomfortable fight. We gotta realize that it's a fight, and it's happening every day. We gotta see it through, because the injustices that are going on with our people are just, it's abomination, man, before God. Man, can't get this act right, but We gotta get our youth more. You know, our youth are involved. We gotta get them more involved. We gotta get them out there, because in every movement, it was always the youth that pushed this thing, and that's what's happening now. You know, like I said, protests going all over the country. And we gotta be willing to sacrifice. And I was talking to my mom about the situation. She was like, "Yo, the difference between her generation and my generation is that, you know, we are very comfortable in this generation. We have all these electronics, you know, all these luxuries, and a lot of us are not willing to sacrifice. We don't want to give up. We don't know what it is to hurt in that capacity. And we go through stuff, but not in that capacity, as in, I gotta get this up for the greater good. See, back then, they ain't had nothing anyway. They had to get stuff up. Either you give up the little bit of luxury they had, or continue to suffer. You're gonna give it up anyway. They was accustomed to suffering, accustomed to sacrificing, and we gotta make sure we obtain that same spirit today, because we're gonna have to get something up, man. You know, so when you say something like boycott Black Friday, man, just get with the program, man. You know, if we want to see change, affect change, if we do it together, unity is the key. If we do it together, everybody, it's gonna work. Because our buying power is 1.1 trillion. That is huge. It's huge. We affect everything. We affect everything as black people in this country. Wherever our money goes, that's the direction the nation goes. You can see the nation is attaching themselves to hip hop. They're attaching themselves to twerking. They're attaching themselves to shoes, you know, and this and that. Everything that we do, sometimes we call that ratchet, whatever. They attach themselves to that. Look at the commercials. Pay attention to what's going on. How they'll take these big corporate things and attach it. I seen the commercial on ESPN. I forgot what was going on, but there was a dude sitting in the chair, and the white girl was twerking, man. She was twerking. I was like, is I the only person seeing this? Skinny chick, man. Don't nobody want to see that, but the point is, I'm like, look at that. In time before, they would look at us and demonize our women for that. And I look at it, you know, it keeps happening. So, and look, with Black Friday, okay, no, not Black Friday, yeah, Black Friday, but you know how a lot of our brothers go out and wait in line for those Jordans? They be waiting for hours. Sometimes they might camp out. They will look at them and say, look at them boys out there. Those niggas, look at them. Out there waiting for shoes, need to be getting jobs. The list goes on. But white people, they do the same thing, right? Black Friday, they camping out weeks and days before just to get TVs. And the money they could have been working and made all that money. Plus they lost money trying to get a TV that maybe 80% off. And they lost money anyway, not working all that time, trying to get a TV that's 80% off. And it's the same thing. At least we waiting in line for shoes we can use and walk in. You know? I mean, hey, you can spend money where you want to spend your money, but you need to pay attention to what's going on and the trends that are happening, because it's not cool. You know, you gotta stop letting them let them tell us what's demonizing to us, you know? Because that's not cool, man. But we gotta wake the nation up. We say we tired of it. We say we not gonna stand for it. So we got to stand for it, man. The movement always starts from the people. It doesn't come from the top. It comes from people that are fed up. And economics. If we understand money and economics, we will get with the program. Sometimes you have to not buy those things that you want. Just hold back, man. It's not gonna kill you. We all like to buy stuff. We all like to shop. We all like to have a good time. This is what we like to do. All people. But we can be using that money for so much more. The difference between us and other people is that other people have most of their stuff together. You know, we as the people been suffering. We know why that is. But if we know why that is, we need to take that knowledge and pull the money. It don't matter how much money we have, whatever we have. If we got $1 trillion or 1,000, we can pull that money together and start using it for our own causes, our own people, our own businesses. But people out there doing it, man. So I don't want to act like ain't nobody out here doing it, because there's people every day out here in the streets protesting. It's lawyers, they out there doing what they do. Clergymen out there doing what they do. They just don't get the press, or they don't get the support that they really need. It's brothers out here with clear-cut strategies on how we can affect this and how we can make this thing happen. But we let the media tell us that, you know, they're not gonna do nothing, or they not gonna affect change, or it's unnecessary. You gotta stop doing that, man. Get behind these brothers out here doing it. You see people on social media every day putting in that work, but they don't have the support. It's hard to do something when you ain't got the support. So we need to back our people with our dollars. You know, that's what's gonna affect. Put the money where it's gonna go. You know, make people listen. Money talks. Money talks. Money talks. That's why when Walmart comes in and settles in a neighborhood, all the surrounding grocery stores start to shut down, because that money talks. That money goes from them to them. No matter the town of 1,000 or 2 million, it happens every time. That's the power of everybody spending their money in one place over time. So, yeah, but don't be so quick to demonize the boycotts, the protests, because they're having a major effect. A lot of people are really getting with it. So people are tired of the injustices, but we got to make sure that we are at the forefront of these protests, because we don't want nobody else to tell our story and tell us what to do about these protests, because we need to make sure we getting exactly what we want and exactly what we need. We need to stay at the forefront. Like, you want to help us? Come on, it's cool. But we at the forefront of this thing. Don't try to attach your struggle to our struggle, because it's completely different things. You know, everybody else get their struggle taken care of except us. You know, so we got to make sure we with that, man. And some of the things that are going on in Ferguson, like the riots and the looting, all those things, black people are not doing all those things. You know, if you follow the hashtags on social media, you'll see. I seen the other day where some of the protesters in Ferguson caught a white guy starting car fires. But he had a mask on. He's starting car fire, and he'll blend in with the crowd. But somebody caught him, and they were about to jump him, but they let him go. You know, these people are paid from the government to do this, to cause chaos and make it look like the protesters, the actual residents of Ferguson. I mean, some people are looting, but don't be so quick to dehumanize, because all people loot. All people loot when they don't like something. Just look at this thing that happened this year. When something go mad, something go wrong in our communities, people loot. They do. So it's no different. So don't try to make them act like we the only one to do that junk. And really, they do it worse. A church in Ferguson got burned down. I think it was Mike Brown's dad's church, I believe. And people say, hey, look, they burnt down their own church. In my opinion, I don't think black people did that. For one, black people, we are very spiritual. We are very religious. It don't matter if we are strippers, pimps, the pastor, the drug dealer. We respect God in our own way. You know, we might not be doing the right thing all the time, but we're gonna give God, you know, we're gonna give God God's props, you know, for whatever. And we just not gonna, I ain't never too many times in history heard about black people burning down their own church. And they might have burned down somebody else's church. But I don't know, we don't do that. Maybe some people who steal from the church. But I don't think we ain't do that. We ain't burn down the church. Even some of the people said they think white supremacists came in and did that, man. It's been reported. So when we see these things, man, don't quickly say, oh, look at black people acting up, because that's what they want you to do. They're pitching us against ourselves. So we at least need to say, hey, okay, I see what they say happened. Let me look into it. Let me see if it's really what it is. Now, some stuff is really what it is. You know, some people are just wilding, but a lot of people not. You know, so let's be conscious of that, man, and get with the program, man. Support people who are trying to do work. If they ask you for some donations, like, and it's the right thing in your heart, you know, the right thing, support them. Can't nobody do this alone, man. We need to support. If we don't get support from our people, we have to go outside of our community to get the dollars and the donations that we need from other people. And with that, they gonna give their money, but with strings attached. Okay, we're gonna give you this $1,000 or this $20,000, but this we want you to do. You can only say this, you can only say that. So they're limited. But we don't have to be limited. If we have our own money, we have our own resources. We can say what we want to say in our own way, tell it from our eyes and our perspective, rather than a white person's perspective, you know, and then they put their own spin on it. And they're not saying if they tell it from their own perspective, not saying they're racist or not, but you can't expect them to understand our pain. If you go through something in your life and you want to tell somebody exactly how you feel, you don't want somebody else to come in and say, oh, he felt like this or she felt like that. You be like, no, that's not how I felt. You can't tell me how I felt, right? That's the purpose of telling our own story. So let's get with it, man, and be conscious of everything. I'm out.